Hey y'all. Okay, I'm at work. I just got to work. I just finished working out, so I'm freshening up myself to prepare to go into my office. But I know it's 2 o'clock in the morning in Eastern Standard Time. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon here in China, and I wanted to kind of check in with you guys. I want to get an idea of the pulse of where everyone is. Sorry, I'm unwrapping my hair, washing my face, just going to step into my office. This is kind of cute. I could just wear this today, but I didn't pin it up. I just want to get a pulse of where everybody is with this thing with the Hispanic immigrant children being separated from their parents. I think most of y'all know what my opinion is because of the ni hao, because of the posts that I've done on Instagram and Facebook. But I would love to hear and see what many of you think as far as, I mean, it's a horrible thing, but I'd like to know what you think as a American African or anywhere you are, African community, whether you're in Asia, Southeast Asia, Africa, Europe. I know I got some Facebook friends in the UK, India, all over the world, fortunately. If you don't have Facebook friends all over the world, you should be ashamed. What a waste of technology. But anyway, I want to kind of get an idea of where you guys are as far as whether or not we should, especially American Africans, since this is happening in America, whether we should fight for them. I don't want to lead your thinking, but I would like you to consider the last 399 years of Holocaust that we are experiencing that is partially in part due to the quiet from the Hispanic community as a whole. And I'd like to just kind of see where your heads are. But I gotta get dressed at the same time, so. Let me see who's here. Let me see who's here. I'm so bad with this. Trying to get dressed at the same time, it ain't easy. Let's see. Well, I'll press the wrong button. Facebook is a fool today, ain't it? Facebook is not our friend. Dr. John Henrik Clark said we have no friends. Haha. Facebook is not one of our friends. Believe it or not. Let's see. I don't see anyone getting blocked or restricted on Facebook for speaking against what Hispanics are experiencing right now, but many of us always get blocked, restricted, put in social media jail for speaking against the atrocities, the continued atrocities against involuntary immigrants in America, aka American Africans. I find that interesting, to say the least. AKA, that's some bullshit. If you've ever been restricted on social media because you spoke out against the crimes against humanities that are occurring, crimes against humanity that are occurring against American Africans, raise your hand. And if you'll ever wonder why America won't do any sort of won't serve any justice. Hello, hey Yuri. If you wonder why America will never serve justice against the atrocities against American Africans as crimes against humanity, it's because we are still not listed as human beings in the Constitution. The original meaning of the Constitution is what is always followed. There was a judge that said even though the ideas of people have changed, the law has an obligation to the original writing of the Constitution. And in the original Constitution, we still are not human. We were only declared as 3/5 human. Hey, Larry, so that slave owners could have more votes in the South, because there were 20 million slaves in the South that weren't voting, and there were more Africans in America than anybody else, so slave owners wanted the vote to count for their slaves. I'm doing well, Yuri. I'm getting ready for work. Well, I'm at work. Just finished working out, getting ready to walk into my office, which is also why you'll find that the most dense voting populations in America are where there are the most prisons and the most prisoners. Hello, Humble, because states still have a voting number for prisoners, which is why it was such a big deal recently that prisoners are now being given a right to vote. Because for the longest, states didn't have to pay taxes on their prisoners, aka slaves. Hey, Miss Teresa, but they did get, they didn't have to pay taxes on their slaves, but they did get voting privileges. So the states with the highest electoral college population, and that's what the electoral college is all about. It's about the states that have the biggest right to vote. You'll notice that the states with the largest electoral college vote are the states with the biggest prisons, the most prisoners. Florida, Pennsylvania, I believe Michigan, Ohio, Connecticut. Those are major states with big electoral college populations. Hello, Sala and Don. I want to get an idea, since now that there's a few people here to talk, and I don't have time now, because a lot of times I got to get in my office, but I wanted to get an idea from you guys on where you are as far as American Africans sticking up, standing up, and fighting for Hispanics in America when it comes to this recent uncovering of immigrant children, voluntary immigrant children being separated from their parents and being kept in cages. Hello, Onu. If you want to give a comment, I wanted to bring some folks on camera because I had a little bit of time, but now I got to get in my office and get ready for work. But if you'd like, when I shut this down, feel free to continue the conversation in the comments. So I think it's an important conversation for us to have. We don't have in our Black community one way. And one thing I'm learning living here in China is if you ask Chinese people, when does a baby walk? They'll say, we think that a baby starts walking at 1 year old. Even though some babies walk at 9 months, even though some babies walk at 1.5, they say, we believe. If you ask a Chinese person, do you like cold weather or warm weather? They'll say, we like cold weather. We prefer cold weather over hot weather. And they have one way of thinking, even though they may personally disagree. Hello, Ozokwere. I love saying your name. It tickles my spirit. There is one way of thinking. And as Africans globally, and especially just in one local area like America, there isn't one way of thinking. We've got reds and blues and north and south and east and west and all kinds of bullshit that keeps us from being unified. So I like to kind of know where we are and how we think about that sort of thing. So feel free to drop a comment. You know, do you think we should fight? Do you think that we should stand up for the voluntary immigrants whose families are being separated right now as a result of the president they voted for? Do you think that we should work to end what it is they're experiencing, even though they've never stood up for us? You know, what do you think? I'm gonna shut this down because I'm gonna hop on into my office now. I'm at work now, so I'm gonna hop in my office. I think I'm all fresh and ready to go, so I holla.